Hello everyone and welcome to the showdown between the Dark Elves led by Marathi, or Mother Dearest as we like to call her, and the Greenskins, who are going to be led by Azag the Slaughterer. So let's jump right into this match, guys, and have some fun. So in the front line, or I should say skirmish, I do have two groups of the Black Art Corsairs with handbows, and I definitely think they're a very solid pick against Greenskins. Greenskins have a lot of lightly armored skirmish units. Over here you can see the Mangy Marauders. On top of that, they often bring nasty Skulkers and Goblins and just all kinds of squishy units aside from the Black Orcs. So I think that you're going to get pretty good value out of the Black Art Corsairs. They can also help against Orc Boar Boy Biggins and things like that. And on top of that, they're decent in melee. So if they have to fight against Greenskin infantry, they'll do pretty well against most infantry with the exception of the Black Orcs, who will just absolutely punish them. In the front line, a combination of Black Art Corsairs, so it looks like three groups in total who are going to be led by one group of Harganeth Executioners. Definitely, I think it's worth bringing one. A little bit risky if your opponent does bring Azag, for example, because Fated Buna will just melt them off the table. But I think just to bring it and kind of keep your opponent honest, they're not a bad choice. On top of that, we do have a Hydra. So Hydra on paper, it might seem a little bit questionable because of all the Goblin firing squads and, kind of skirmishing modalities that the Goblins do have. But I think having a big fear and terror-causing unit against the Greenskins that is reasonably tough to take down is almost always worth it. So we do have the one Hydra here, and had he got like an Arachnaut Queen or something, it would have given us the opportunity for some Kaiju battles. Two Harpies, just to chase down Rusty Arrows, artillery, all kinds of stuff like that. One group of Dark Riders, I think without shields. I was really short on money, so I literally needed like a tiny bit more money to get some extra spears, so I didn't bring the shields, but shields are normally a very good choice if you're going to bring the Dark Riders against the Gobos. One group of Shades in the back, so a unit I'm kind of experimenting with in a multitude of matchups, but I feel like the Shades are good against Black Orcs. And, 40 melee attack with 30 weapon strength is not bad at all. Granted, these aren't any of the modified variants, so they're not going to be any they're not going to be world beaters, but still I think they're worth bringing. And Marathi, Mother Dearest, as we said. She does, I actually think she's one of the, I don't know, I've been playing with her quite a bit. She just has so much tactical flexibility with like how fast her Flying Steed is and some of her different debuffs. The Enchanting Beauty gives -9 melee attack. She has the Wand of Caridon, I think is what it's called. This thing hits like an absolute truck and just can be a game changer. So Malekith has Doombolt, which is the same thing, but I really think that being able to bring this as a bound item that doesn't use your Winds of Magic is huge. Soul Stealer, Melkos is very good against Greenskin Cav, Black Orcs, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, I might actually say Marathi might be stronger in this matchup. I'm not sure. Anti-large AP, good choice. And for my opponent, the Mighty Dob Plays, make sure to go check out his YouTube channel. We actually just, we both were like queuing up for ladder, like off and on, and both of us were like, you know what, we've been waiting like 3 to 5 minutes. Nobody's coming on, so we just decided to queue up and just face each other on ladder. So this is one of the 3 games that we did indeed play. So you can see over here the Dark Riders are chasing these Mangy Marauders, but for his front line, he's got nasty Skulkers, regiments of renowned Goblins, definitely good stuff. The lads will do pretty well against, just mucking things up while the Black Orcs advance. 2 groups of Orc Boar Boy Biggins on either flank, 2 Black Orcs, which I really like quite a bit. Broken Tusk Mob, which I think Orc Boars, in this matchup, they'll probably do pretty well against Cold One Knights. These guys, considering their stat line is quite a bit better than regular Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And I think bringing one group just for anti-large is pretty good. He does have some artillery in the back, Azag, and that is pretty much it. So without further ado, guys, let's get this show on the road. Excuse me. So in the front, you can see these Black Art Corsairs are just going to be shooting into those Morgrips Mangy Marauders, and this is why I like to bring them, just kind of counter skirmishing. And you can see that my opponent's artillery, Dobbs artillery, in the back is doing a very good job at just kind of peppering on my Black Art Corsairs. So I do fall back in a bit of a defensive formation. Mother Dearest is going to be sitting on the flank, just looking for an opportunity to strike. And you can see that the Hydra's Flame Breath is going to be coming in. And I don't know if this is a problem with the Hydras in general, but every time I use the Flame Breath, it always clips the edge of the formation, like where it aims. It's always just like right here instead of the dead center, which I don't know, that maybe it's a bug or just the way they're programmed to it. It makes them so much more, so much less effective, I should say. In the meantime, I do get one group of Harpies and attack Azag, because that's going to keep him from flying around with impunity. And it'll probably force a Fated Buna out of my opponent here. So the other group of Harpies is going to be going for the Hammer of Gork in the back, so that's definitely going to be good. In the meantime, the Hydra is coming in the front line, and he's going to just be getting down and dirty on these Black Orcs. And look how scary those things are. Man, that's one of the main reasons you bring Hydras, though, is they're a very good counter against Black Orcs, if they're not taking missile fire. So they're going to start fighting in here and hopefully doing some pretty good job. I mean, they do have 5 heads, so they should be fine. In the back, he has gotten into my cookie jar a little bit, so I have to pull some Dread Spears to intercept these guys. I also use a Melkos to slow down those Orc Biggins. And Mother Dearest, I feign a jump in. He does use a Smoke Bomb, definitely well played there, but I don't commit to the engagement, so we do get the Smoke Bomb. In the front line, my Black Art Corsairs, as predicted, get pounded by the Biggins and Black Orcs, but the Hydras should be able to hold the front line pretty well. And my Corsairs are shooting into those Biggins, or Night Goblins, excuse me. And the Shades are shooting into this other pocket of Black Orcs. While one group of Harganeth Executioners did massacre the Warlord's boys in the middle, which was nice. we also got that artillery in the back line with our Harpies. So right now, a very, very even fight. Looks like there might be a duel underway. Hey guys, Neo's fighting Morpheus. So that's basically what's going to happen now. Mother Dearest actually gets a Spirit Leech. So as soon as he casts a Spirit Leech, I respond with the Soul Stealer. So the Soul Stealer obviously costs a bit more Winds of Magic, but it might get some of these guys on the AoE. It does actually get those Night Goblins. And Mother Dearest is, she's down to party because Azag doesn't have any ways of healing, whereas Mother Dearest does. So I do pop the Wand of Kadon right here, or Kairidon, or whatever it's called. So check this out. So we see his HP. He's at about 2,900. And Marathi is a beastly duelist. She has 70 melee attack right now with her activated abilities. And yeah, she's gonna be pretty frightening. With anti-large too, that's really gonna even the table with, Azag, whose stats might look better on paper. So he's at 29 or 2,800, whatever. So you can see the wands coming in, and that pops him down about 500 damage on that. And then from there, Marathi is going to be able to kind of punish him and really do some good work. So we do fend him off there. So that's one of the main reasons to bring the wand. In the front line, it's a little bit hog wild. We've definitely lost and had our flank collapsed over here on this side of the battlefield, but over here where the Hydra is and the Harganeth Executioners, as well as a very heavy pocket of Black Arc Corsairs and Dread Spears. I had to pull some reinforcements here because he actually sent his Orc Boars in the front line. It's going a little bit better for us. We have formed a bit of a secondary pocket, and you can see that these Shades are doing some pretty good work. They're shooting into these Depth Creepers, and now they're going to be shooting into these Black Orcs, but there are a lot of mobile forces from the Greenskins coming in. So you can see the Broken Tusk Mob. Some of these Forest Goblin Spider Riders are rallying in the distance. Excuse me. So getting over a bit of a plague, Nurgle's blessings upon me. But anyways, you can see the Shades are going to be shooting into those Black Orcs, and they're doing some pretty good work. In the meantime, Mother Dearest is going to be pulling back. Getting a Spirit Leech cast on her, definitely not fun, but a very compromising situation in the back line. So right now, Dov, realizing there's a huge weakness in my pocket, just going to be bum rushing through with a very healthy group of Broken Tusk Mob, 42 models, and 36 Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and the Black Orcs. So I do have some Black Arc Corsairs with handbows. I did use the Power of Darkness on them to get my Winds of Magic back, but it's looking a little bit dicey, boys. So the Unbreakable Gobos over here fighting against my Black Arc Corsairs and the handbows as well, and he does get that juicy charge. So well played there, Dov, just getting right into my Shades. And I do get some really good breath attack. So for once, it actually takes out 7 or 8 models on those biggins. There's just going to be a hog wild charge right here. So you can see the boars coming in, just going to be ransacking these Shades. And yeah, they're squealing happily as they go in here. But I do have some, reinforcements. So I have Black Arc Corsairs, I have this group, I also have my handbows shooting in, and I do get a Melkoth. So I do take a lot of burst damage initially, but there's also a retaliation. The Melkoth's coming in, the handbows also shooting in, and just a lot of damage. And also, Azag is taking a lot of work. I do get a Soul Stealer, which hits everything here. Extremely punishing. Going to do some huge AoE damage. And you can see, aside from the Black Orcs, most of the Greenskin pressure here is going to be buckling. Azag does break. He has about 700 HP, and I don't have any resources for chasing him. You can see that Marathi's actually trapped by some of these squealing pigs right here. So she's going to have to fight her way out. Thankfully, these handbows, like I said, very good against these, well, I guess Broken Tusk Mob has more armor, but typically they would be really good against Orc Boars. But they're actually able to fend them off with Marathi and her anti-large bonus, and I do pull back the Hydra, who's going to be helping out against these Black Orcs. So you can see the Hydra Goon Squad is going to be coming in just on the hunt right now, and we're going to see how it goes. Oh man, they get right into those guys. But anyways, the Duel of Duels. So right here you can see that Marathi is going to be charging in. I use Melkoths not to damage him because it does absolutely terrible damage against lightly armored targets. You just want to use it to slow targets in this situation. So I use it, put his speed down to 84, guaranteeing I can catch him. Marathi with 105 speed. I think he is 110, but with the Melkoths I should be able to catch him no problem. So Mother Dearest is, she's got her business ready. She's got her business in line. And unfortunately, the Azag the Slaughter is going to fall from the skies to Mother Dearest. So we're able to put him down, which is good. And Greenskins without leadership is definitely a faction that does struggle, but the bounce of power is still very even. Dov has a lot of stuff. 54 biggins here. He has a big contingent of forces coming back over here that was chasing off some of my troops. So right now we're just cleaning up the Black Orcs with the Hydra, and Hydra's doing a great job. Only 24 kills, surprisingly, but I think it did a lot of damage to the Black Orcs. So these handbows are almost out of ammunition, but what's really cool about these guys compared to Dark Charts is that even when they do run out of ammo, they're going to be formidable combatants in melee. They're not going to be pushovers. They're not going to just be a kind of cannon fodder, I should say. And even if they do get compromised by Forest Goblin Spider Riders, Orc Boars, they actually have a better stat line than most of those aforementioned units. So I really think that they're worth including in this matchup, as long as you have other options for taking out the Black Orcs. So the Forest Goblin Spider Riders from Dov, the Depth Creepers, I think, yeah, they're able to fend off my Dark Riders. Obviously a much better unit here. So I'm just kind of pursuing, trying to chase down his troops, but Dov is going to be patient. He's going to wait till all of his troops have a full surround on me, and then he'll probably commit to a couple Alpha Strikes. So I do form a battle line here. I get a charge, but the Squealing Hogs are going to come in and get a great charge of my guys. which is going to be tough. Obviously good AP, but I do get a pretty good little breath attack on those guys. Again, clipping the edge of that formation. So maybe it should be used from the side to ensure you get the most value rather than straight on. But the Hydra's going to come in, and like I said, having a terror-causing unit against Greenskins in the late game is just so darn powerful. But he does have the Death's Creepers back, who have pretty good ammunition, so they should be able to get 8 or 9 more volleys here on the War Hydra. We're able to rout off the Broken Tusk Mob with the Terror, and right now just kind of on the hunt. Bounce Power is very close, and honestly, if he's able to get a good surround on Marathi, he could definitely take this game. So right now you can see Dov's going to come in for the Alpha Strike now that most of his forces are in position. He pops a Smoke Bomb to ensure that I have to commit to the fight. And you can see the Hydra just leaping around the formations here. And the Blackheart Corsairs in a desperate fight against these goblins. There's pigs, there's evil edgy elves everywhere. This is the battle of battles. So right now Marathi is somewhere in the field. I'm not sure where she's flying about, but I actually do use the wand. I had one charge left. I wasn't able to use the second one. So yeah, she's actually going to be finishing off Broken Tusk. And Melkos is so good. She uses Melkos and she's able to use her anti-large bonus, and the wand comes down and just friendly fires my Hydra, which is fine. I don't think it did too much damage. But from here, now that most of these anti-large troops are gone, and the Hydra, a lot of pressure coming though. 47 Biggins is still 47 Biggins, boys. So these guys were actually routing, so I decided to send the Harpies in, thinking I could chase them off, but it was only a terror route. So they then rallied and beat up my Harpies, so I was like, oh no, and the bounce started to go back towards the middle a little bit. So I get right in with Marathi. I do a rear charge, which is going to allow the Hydra to reset its charge. It's going to come in here and just hopefully be able to tear out a lot of these guys. And I do also have some Blackheart Corsairs. I think that came back from route, and yeah, you can see they actually just re-engaged here. And from here, most of the Greenskin troops are just going to buckle under the pressure of the Hydra and Marathi. So very well played to Dov. That was a super fun game. And yeah, we both got to experiment a little bit with some different units. And we actually, like I said, played 3 games. So I will absolutely be putting all 3 of those games up on ladder. And they were definitely quite a bit of fun. But yeah, Marathi, I think she's a solid pick here. She really just showed Azag the business. Hydra, like I said earlier, having a terror-causing unit was what ultimately saved us. Granted, a case could be made that had I brought more, gone wider, maybe that would have won us the game. But I really think the Hydra was a good pick, despite its, not super high kill count. For Dov's army, I liked it. Honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. Black Orcs. I'm more of a fan of going just more Black Orc heavy, because they just monster mash the front line of the Dark Elves. But I do see the theory of getting Biggins against some of the other threats like Hydras and Harpies and things like that. And also, they do good enough against Black Orcs. I'm pretty sure they win 1-1. So yeah, very well played to Dov Plays. Make sure to go check out his YouTube channel. There will absolutely be a link in the comment section below. And guys, thanks again for watching. Have an excellent night, and take care.